Hey guys, Matt, IronTrap Garage, and today is tire day for the 34 Ford. I finally bit the bullet and my cheap ass bought some brand new tires for the 34 Ford. I've been agonizing over the tire size because the tires that are on this thing, the diameter of the tires on the car did not match anything that you can buy nowadays with modern bias ply tires. So there's a couple of things that I knew I wanted to do. I wanted to keep the thin white walls on it. I wanted to keep the Raider wheels on it. You know, there's been a lot of people that were talking negatively that didn't like that. I love it. It's one of the things I love about the car because it just screams 60s hot rods. So I kept with that look. What I ended up doing is going to a slightly larger I think it's 820 or 850, forget, whatever, 820 or 850 rears, and the tires that are on it are actually recaps in the rear, so I couldn't tell the size, but they were bigger than a 670 but slightly smaller than these, so I kind of picked the slightly larger size because it's going to raise the rear a little bit, but it's going to take up some of the wheel gap, and I think with having the bigs and smalls it'll look cool when it's all said and done. The fronts actually went down a tire size. Even though the tires that were on the car are labeled as a 670, they were actually shorter than any 670. They're about 3/4 of an inch shorter than any of the 670s that I could get. So I was going to give the tire a fatter look in the front, which I didn't want to do and give us more sidewall. So I ended up going down to the 560s. They are about 3/4 of an inch shorter than what we have. So it is going to give us more wheel gap, boo, but it's going to get the car down a little lower. And looking to the final vision of the car, this is the tire combination I think that I wanted to go with. So we're going to work on getting the wheels and tires off and get these new tires mounted because the ones that are on it are split so badly that I'm scared to drive it more than just like up and down my driveway or around the block. So by putting these on, even with the wheel gap being not the best, we can at least take it a little further out around my neighborhood and put a couple miles on it and see what else we need to fix on the car. So we're going to work on getting this back up on the lift, get the wheels back off, and get some new tires mounted on this thing. Yeah, it wasn't too bad to bleed. The only one that leaked was one of the ones you tightened. It was only when we were near the end, when it had a lot of pressure, it started seeping.
You have to do, you have to tighten it a little bit more.
I just had to go a tiny bit more. It was right where
I usually when I do them, I don't go crazy. Because I've already tightened them so tight that they broke those.
I know.
They broke the end of the line off.
Yeah, I'd rather have to just tighten it a little bit.
Well, that's why I don't usually do that. When I do it, I usually make them tight and give room for a little bit more in case it leaks.
Yeah. No, it was all right.
Unilugs.
You can see these two tires, they sat for so long flat that they just went right back to their flat spot position. So even though we had air in them and they kind of filled up, it looked okay. You could see this one too. So these were definitely no good. They would have had a hop to them. People were saying, oh, we should run them, et cetera, but you could see they were all ripping here. So we're gonna replace this tape that's right here too. This has where it's riveted together. These are aluminum centers. Aluminum centers with steel hoops that are chromed. So we wanna put some tape back over that. The tape they had on it was just this cloth tape right from when they were first mounted. So we are going a little more overboard and using some Gorilla tape. It's a little stickier. And we're gonna get this tape all put on here. Try not to cover up our neat old Mickey Thompson stickers for the next guy that changes tires. What's up? Hi. What? What's up, buddy? You're a great helper. You're a great helper. I put a little too much air in this one. There we go. Tubes. Oops, so we gotta be careful there. Tube was wanting to pinch. Aired that up, that would have been a big problem. Yep. I know, what was that? There we go. Yeah, what's up, buddy? There we go. Another one done. Don't say anything you wouldn't want your mother to hear.
I know it's not around to hear anything anymore.
Correct. right, so we got the car on the ground, and the back, ignore the front for right now because that's pretty gross, but the back looks freaking awesome. It's kick-ass. So bigger rear tire really did it. Fills up the wheel well nicely. I think it looks really, really good. So it filled up the gap just a little bit. It raised the rear end just a tad, but I think it actually looks really good. If it's up to me, I'll probably take a leaf out of the rear to drop that down a little bit. The front is gross, and it's been gross forever, but now with the smaller tire, it's really looks bad. So we definitely need to drop the front, but at least we got a good set of tires on here now, and pretty happy with that. So yeah, but you can see here, this is a great shot. See how it just fills the wheel well up. I just was looking at old photos, and I really like the way, you know, these sedans you would see with like cheater slicks or the bigger rear tires in the 60s. They look so cool. So I decided to go that route, which is great. So yeah, like I said, we got the wheel gap here we got to deal with, but I've already drugged down an axle from my wall of axles up there. It's actually getting smaller because we're building cars. But I got this old hammer dropped axle that is a slightly later axle than what's on the car. So what that means is it's actually a little narrower. So that's going to pull those front wheels in a little bit because the offset's kind of poor on these, and the front wheel is actually like just sticking out from the wheel arch. So this will pull the front wheels in, allow us to drop it down a little bit, and will work out pretty good. The only downside is, and it's also like I think a 2-inch or 2.5-inch drop. Only downside is that the wishbone area here for the spring perch, this is 2 1/4, and the 32 to 34 is 2-inch. So we're gonna actually have to put this in the mill and mill the bosses here to get them back to 2-inch so we can slip the wishbone over. So that's going to be a whole nother series of videos. We were going to do it in the spring, but honestly, now's the time to do it while we have the car on the lift and we're messing with it. So yeah, big update. Super psyched that we got new tires on here. I think they look awesome. Just envision that front there being like a lot lower. So that is newest update on the 34 Ford. Thanks guys for watching. Appreciate it. Catch you later.